All right, Andar, go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Okay. I mean, he's not eating it. He's,
Yeah.
digging it.
I'll find it with my teeth.
Investigation check. Okay.
Yes. You kind of look through your oatmeal, digging through it, trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about. You find several small lumps that might be bone slivers. But honestly, they could just as easily be oat husks, sawdust, or even insect eggs.
Which, having served with a, quasi-military unit is normal for, field grub, I mean, I don't see anything out of the ordinary in here. I mean, I've eaten worse.
Gotcha. Okay, here's the roll. We have Ireva.
I
Oh,
knew it was
snap.
gonna be me this week. I just knew it.
So I look forward to reading your session synopsis for next week. Without further delay, we can get some introductions. So we are following the heroes that have taken assignment to follow the cultists on their travel northward amongst the wagon caravan. And they have the goal of discerning exactly where they're headed. These heroes are
Am I first? I think I'm first, aren't I?
I think they're
Hi,
first.
I'm Sauerkraut. I play Freddie Bloomington, a self-bald warlock of the College of Lore. He's a happy-go-lucky jack-of-all-trades type who's out for redemption and to gain fame and fortune so that one day he may eventually return to his homeland.
Hi, I'm Otto. I play Hawkeye, who is a wild hunt shifter, who's a druid from the circle of the. Did I pick moon? Stars? I think stars.
Stars. Yep.
Yeah. And right now, she's a big old black bear because she got angry that people were mean to her. And although she was technically knocked out at this point, she did, outside of character, hear Ureva call her a friend. Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
I'm John. I'm playing Knock Gravelskin, half-orc barbarian from the Path of the Beast. And he's spent his whole life living as a dwarf and now has to live as a half-orc. So that's been interesting for him.
Hello, I'm Bruce, also known as Old Jarhead. My character is Ondar Stillhawk, a human paladin of Torm, traveling from Tether, who was on his way to Tantris to visit the Temple of Torm's Coming. He was waylaid by a caravan and the incidents that happened in the town of Greenest, and is now traveling with this caravan on their way through Waterdeep and territories north of there.
Hi, I am Nicole Oldenburg. I play Ireva Galanidel, a wood elf ranger of the Horizon Walker subclass. Ireva grew up in the North Woods and left her homeland in order to sent by her people from her homeland in order to stop a threat of the Dragon Queen being risen, and looks forward to completing her mission and being able to return home.
Right, there we have our valiant heroes on their quest. Been a very, very fun campaign so far, and I look forward to seeing how they tackle this entire campaign. Been having a lot of fun with you guys. Hope you've been having fun. So last time in Tyranny of Dragons, a tense situation had emerged between the heroes and a wagon team of which Lovius Longnose was leading the horses. He laid on the muddy ground of the tradeway, having been accused of theft by the group's paladin, but no evidence of yet had been presented. The merchant whose wares were contained in the wagon refused a search of his goods until such evidence or reason court could be presented. And so Ireva walked northwards to Ondar's steed, where his shield, the source of supposed theft and reason for the situation, had been strapped. The knight hired by Bade offered to stand as an unbiased witness to the investigation. And so Ireva quickly found sign of movement in the muddy earth soaked with rain. Tracks led south from the horse, shallower in the ground and of a smaller print, like that of a child's. These prints were followed and brought the wood elf to Nirehite Verther's wagon and Lovius. All attending guards loosened their grips in the same breath spoken by Ondar. "Fetch me my shield, halfling." A few stuttered mutters from the diminutive man were all he could muster before digging between the tightly packed crates and chests upon the cart, where it was uncovered a large, somewhat concave object wrapped in linens. His head bent low. Ondar's shield with the symbol of Torm displayed upon its metal face was presented with a half-assed apology. "Sorry." Lovius was apprehended at the instruction of Nirehite, his wrists wrapped by rope and fastened to the back of the wagon, which were carefully inspected for the tie's integrity. And so, once more as always, the caravan set on its way along the trade road, this time during a miserably wet and overcast day. The going was much slower due to the muddy ground making travel by wagon treacherous and grinding. After a long 8 hours having trudged along, a hostel was spotted within the caravan, giving the caravan members reason for thanks. It drudged up to the side of the road next to a small stables with many merchants and teamsters beginning to argue in the rain about what teams were to enjoy a dry evening in the barn. Hawkeye, not very eager to stand in the rain, made straight for the tavern doors. Inside, she found no patrons other than a group of 4 richly dressed men laughing to themselves and a worried-looking barkeep behind the bar. The men regarded her with cocky looks and gestures, of which she was not having. Noct entered in time to see her in a tense conversation with the figures, barkeep having responded to questions of lodging with a confusing statement, "No more room." The figures smiled at the apparent misfortune of the newfound travelers. Something was certainly off about these men. They were needlessly aggravating Hawkeye, and then the half-orc with no cause. One man had placed a hand on Hawkeye's shoulder, which triggered the next sequence of events. Without hesitation, she sprayed a line of poison at the figure, causing them to draw their weapons. And Freddy and the others from outside heard the exclamation, "Oi! She fucking sprayed me! Get him!" The high-class accents spoken previously had dropped for a more uncouth tone. And that brings us to the present moment. You stand victorious over 3 bloody and unmoving bodies, one noted prior as having been the leader. A last figure now stands with hands upraised and weapons clattered to the floor. The barkeep jumps from behind the cover of his bar, exclaiming thanks and praise. But you look now to the doorway, where many of your traveling companions stand open-eyed at your current circumstance, including a pair of cultists with blades returning to their sheaths. The constant patter of rain upon the wood of the hostel is all that breaks the awkward pause between the barkeep's exclamations and the long stares of the caravan. Special notice given to the hulking form of the beast that is the resident barbarian. What do you do, heroes?
Oh, I thought I was on top of human village. Get one.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
You have him like pinned down on the floor.
Yeah. Debating if I want to rip his heart out or not.
I'll just kind of grin and say, well, they attacked a fellow member of the caravan.
Well, that's a bit of revisionist history, but as I guess at this point I should turn off my rage because I'm not raging anymore. I'll reach down and find a clean spot on one of their bodies to wipe my hands off.
The barkeep is actually running about at this. Comes out from behind the bar.
I look over at the barkeep. Are you all right, sir?
Oh, yes, I am now. Thank heavens you showed.
These men appear to be men of the law, but they do not act such.
He still looks kind of warily at the one that you left alive, who seems to be giving the barkeep a deathly look. The barkeep kind of shudders and, but I doubt that. They've turned away many a customer for the past day. He's wringing his hands, kind of looking to you and looking to them on the floor. I don't regret you taking care of this problem. And then Akrani Uyelton steps in. What the fuck just happened?
As I said, when I entered, they were attacking my friend.
Well, there's a bear in the living room.
She barely fits.
So funny.
Disadvantage on your next roll. Akrani responds, well, who the fuck's gonna clean up the bodies? I don't want to be drinking with the deceased bloody mess.
Well, we created them. You can clean them up. You know, whoever cooks doesn't do the dishes.
Then a few of the other of your companions kind of make their way to within the doors, and they're looking around, making similar exclamations like, "What the hell happened?" A lot of them question at first, kind of giving you and your party weird looks, but with the barkeep seeming to like that you have taken care of this problem. And then Hawkeye,
could I get an ale, please? I'm feeling a bit weary.
Certainly. Goes behind
Make
the
that
bar.
too.
Starts.
This is out of
pouring some
character,
drinks.
but did they have anything important on them?
You have to search.
They were dressed in rich clothes.
You have to search them.
I'll search them.
Okay. So after
I'll sniff them out.
Some
Are you still a
time-
bear?
Yeah.
This
The
bear's
bear
just
starts shredding bodies, right?
Tearing them apart.
I'll clean up the bodies too. I'll throw them outside.
okay.
I'll drag them outside. Except for the one that I'm on here. I want questioning.
How are you dragging him outside if you're standing on top of him?
Yeah.
No, I'm keeping that one there. I'm gonna drag the other ones out.
Right, he's
After
asking how are you standing on top? Oh, after questioning, so you're questioning
Yeah.
him first.
Yeah. But I just wanted to say that I'll clean up the bodies.
Okay. So you're questioning him first.
Now, I do want to point out that as a bear, this is all
can't
inside your
understand
head because we just hear.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bunch of bear spittle in this guy's face now.
All right. So you guys would be able to find a long sword and short sword on each body, as well as a heavy crossbow and some bolts. Other than that, some very fine clothing and coin purses that seem to be kind of heavy.
I like coin purses.
Don't give them to Andar.
They'll disappear.
In the nearest church, they will.
I'm just growling at human. Still got one.
All right. So you guys managed to find about 90 gold pieces worth of coins carried out. Everybody gets 18 gold pieces.
Sounds about how
Okay.
much that ale will cost.
All right, Hawkeye.
I see your face, John.
Visible eye roll.
Oh.
Because you're gonna pay 15 times what a drink should cost. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least.
The barkeep returns with drinks, carrying them over to your table.
When he sets him down, Andar will ask him, what were these men doing here?
I mean, we could ask the one who's still alive.
Yeah.
I just wanted to sit. My legs too tight from riding that horse all day.
I have no idea, to be honest. They just showed up and started acting all aggressively to anyone that came in. They turned many patrons away from the road. Nobody wanted to deal with
It's bad
them.
for business, isn't it?
Did they pay you?
No. They threatened me quite a few times.
Was there anyone with them?
Oh, it was just them. Those four right there. And he spits on the ground.
After I hear that they threatened him, I growled back at the human underneath me.
Go ahead and make me an intimidate check.
Watch it be like a nat one again.
I don't think you can hurt yourself.
You said intimidate?
Yeah.
Uh,
He doesn't outright laugh, but you kind of see the amusement play on his face as he's just like, what are you trying to do? He seems unfazed.
I'll slap him.
With your bear paw?
Yeah, with my
All
bear
right,
paw.
make
in
me
the
an
face.
attack with your bear paw.
He's prone.
Is
Advantage.
Where would that be? Me.
Bottom left next to
never mind.
modifier.
So
it automatically
advantage.
applies with the prone condition. So
yeah, I was trying to find the
on your wild
the roll
shape
for
on your wild shape bear, that's the cast. Melee +4. All right,
don't
go ahead and
piss
roll
off
damage.
a bear.
Roll damage for your claw. All right, so you slap him. Your claw's actually digging into his exposed flesh now, having lain on the ground with you on top of him. Ah! And then he swears a quick rebuttal. 6 points of damage.
Like, the bear can't really make her thoughts known, so she's gonna be doing that with teeth and claws, mate. If you just say something, it would save us all a lot of time, and I can get to my drinking.
He looks back to you, Noct. What is it you wish to know? You have to ask me
what's
questions.
your little racket here? Let me guess, you killed a bunch of rich folks, took their clothes, just trying to hold up in here for a while, rob some more people. I mean, I'm just assuming it so we can bury your bodies and move on with our night.
Why would I answer any of your questions knowing you mean to kill me regardless?
Well, because it can take a really long time to die. My buddy Ondar here, he'll put you down quick and clean. Or the bear will slowly eat you and not starting at the face.
Roll me intimidate.
Alright. Load up skills. Come on. There it goes.
Oh,
22.
nice.
His demeanor seems to change almost instantly. We're mercenaries. This is not our normal dress, as you may have surmised yourselves. We're traveling south to Baldur's Gate for work. We decided to hole up here for a little bit and amuse ourselves. Nothing more.
Ondar looks at him with his brow furrowed and he says, "You amuse yourself by denying this man income from travelers?"
The road is long and boring.
Well, I say again, you deny yourself, you amuse yourself by tormenting travelers and denying this man income? Ondar stands up and draws his sword as he steps towards the man.
I put my paw up because I want to attack him. I want to do the attacking.
For what?
Right.
The common rabble?
Oh, I'm gonna slap him again.
All right, make an attack.
Do I still get advantage?
Yeah, because he's prone.
He ain't got up yet.
Ooh, that is a miss.
Dang!
You're so angry, you slap, but you actually bury your claws into the wood a little bit, just enough that he can move his head so that he does not take the blow. Ugh. If you're gonna do it, just do it already. My life is forfeit as is.
You're right, it is. It has been consumed by Torm, and Ondar, two-handed because he left his sword over there, or his shield over there, just strikes at him.
All right. Are you aiming to kill?
Yes.
Okay, he is helpless right now, so
You got prone on him, right?
yeah. So go ahead and make your attack, and if you hit, then you can do an automatic crit.
Ooh.
Yes.
What?
That is a miss. You two, your
Damn.
anger.
How in the fuck did
You go down.
Can I try again?
Armor class. That's crazy. He's fucking held in place and prone. Wow, that's crazy.
May I try again?
Go ahead.
Nobody can kill.
Just keep missing his head. Why won't you die?
Starts feeling real fucking impervious. I ain't
a
never
miss
gonna
as
win.
well. Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on.
That's nuts. Okay. No, Ondar thinks about something for a second and he goes, wait, perhaps we are not meant to kill this man.
Because you can't fucking stab him.
No, exactly, yes.
I mean, the bear can't do it either.
I look
Well,
over
the
at
man-
Nock and growl.
The man on the ground coughs up a little blood as he chuckles to himself.
Oh, oops.
Something's going on. Waiting to load. There we go. That is a hit. Go ahead and hold down shift as you hit the damage.
As I do the damage, like the claw attack.
Yes, because that'll create a critical hit.
Oh, hello.
All right. A last bear claw strikes across his neck, exposing his jugular, and blood pours out of the wound as his eyes dim to darkness.
And then I'll just do bite just because. Oh dang, look at that. Like I'll bite him and then
Yes, he
this sounds
is.
very graphic, but rips out the throat and drags him
Ugh.
outside. As well with the other ones.
He is dead.
Getting my
Yeah,
anger out.
Ondar sits down. He thinks something was weird about all that.
I mean, you can't blame Tom every time you miss hitting a guy with a sword, man.
No, he thinks that there's something weird about that. The
About
guy was held in
mercenaries?
place. No, he just thinks that there's something weird about that. He's not blaming Torm. He just thinks that there's something odd about that. He blames himself for missing. He blesses Torm when he hits, and he blames himself when he misses.
I'm gonna rip their hearts out and then drag them outside to clean
That
it up.
he's not going to watch.
Jesus.
There's fucking poor barkeeper. It's
This
not bad enough
Hawkeye
he's
is
got
so
murders
angry.
here. Now there's just eviscerating.
Perhaps you haven't prayed hard enough, Ondar.
That's quite very possible, yes. He looks at the fire and he starts cleaning his shield and his sword. It's such a good shield it is. It's a beautiful shield. It's wonderful.
I'll clean the bodies up and then like gently shoulder nudge Ondar after I'm done cleaning it up.
And you're a wonderful bear. Yes, you are. Scruffs it behind the neck and between the ears.
All
I look
right.
around for honey.
For honey?
Yeah, for honey.
I will
Alright, so
find
you
you a
managed
beehive somewhere.
you managed to drag the bodies out of the inns, out of the hostel, outside in the rain, and there's some blood stains on the wood, and many of the merchants and teamsters are now starting to filter in as the barkeep is passing around rounds and everything, and basically like explaining what happened and everything, and that no worries, he'll get it cleaned up eventually. A lot of them look with distaste at the grisly scene, but they're just thankful to be out of the rain right now.
At least I clean up after my mess.
Yeah. And Carlin speaks up to you guys and says, "Oh, trouble seems to follow you guys."
Well, I didn't decide to come to this place.
I'll gently nudge Carlin. Not aggressively, but like to try to knock him off his feet a little bit. Because I'm
make
still a
me
little angry.
make me a strength check.
Do I get more strength since I'm a bear? I don't know how that works.
Your
Because I thought it's
bear's-
more than my strength.
Yep, you would use your bear's strength. So on your note,
Which
that
I think
effect,
+2.
it says your strength is 15.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a that's a +2. So just roll a d20 and then add 2 to it.
Think I did it right?
Yep. Carlin actually isn't paying enough attention, and he gets nudged by you enough that he actually trips up on himself and falls down to a knee. Looks back at you with a bit of worry in his eyes, and he chuckles. What was that for?
It's a game. She's playing a game with you, Carlin.
He
You gotta push her back.
He looks with a measure. He looks with a measure of worry around at you guys, still kind of unsure of his standing quite yet. Looking at Hawkeye.
Yes.
And then I'll lay down next to Ureva.
Okay. And then he just kind of shakes his head like, "Oh no, I'm not pushing that."
You gotta establish dominance early on with animals, you know. Be the alpha.
I look up at
I think
Noct and I growl.
I think I'm certainly quite comfortable with being in my position.
Yes.
That bear's fearsome.
Well, it's just a
Can't-
person inside of a bear.
Right. Being the Omega might be just as well.
I think we use the term beta where I come from.
Oh, well, okay. Anyone else want something to eat?
I want honey, but I just raised my paw.
I think I could use a plate. How about you, Carlin?
I mean, I could technically eat the bodies that I just dragged outside, but...
Friends?
So I said I wanted honey, or I could just eat the people that I took outside.
A second
but we
ago, I
don't know what you're
stepped
saying.
away, and my shield was sitting right here. Anyone see where it went?
I don't know. I mean, I never left my seat, so if it was left at the table, did I see it go?
It was.
missing?
It was.
Yeah, Nog never left the table.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. I don't know. Did I see the shield?
I made mention
Is there a message that I'm not
that I was
seeing?
cleaning it.
All the rest of you, when Ondar left his shield at the table, you distinctly remember him setting it down, but then somehow through the events, it's not where.
I mean,
he
it
put
was probably a lot to look at to watch her rip those hearts out as a bear. That's some shit you know.
Yeah, it was very
That's
preoccupying. The forefront of your mind.
Yeah. No. Didn't. I mean, are you sure you? Huh. That's weird.
Did
Fuck
it?
is with your shield?
Can I try
man?
to
Why does
sniff
keep
it out?
walking off?
Did it roll away?
Not on wheels. It'd be kind of hard for it to
You know, I
roll.
have a
It's
keen
also
Ondar
sense
not
of
set it
smell.
on
Try
its
to sniff it
side,
out.
so it just rolled away.
Could I try? Could I
up.
try to sniff it out? Because I mean, I have a keen sense of smell, and I know what Ondar smells like.
Go ahead and roll investigation.
Yikes!
You are a
You know what?
bear.
I'll do my inspiration.
You're gonna use inspiration. All right.
You smell honey
Go
somewhere.
ahead and roll another investigation check.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
You have no idea where this shield went. You're too preoccupied with the mercenary assassin dudes.
I'll sniff around anyways.
At the
Like, I'll
mention
get
of
up
the
and
shield
sniff it.
being gone again, I ask, is the troublemaker from before still tied up? Or was someone dumb enough to let him loose? And I'd like to go outside, like, to that wagon and see for myself, make sure that he is in fact tied up.
All right, Ireva, you see nobody is outside in the rain. Most of the people have come inside and are now enjoying drinks in their wet clothing. But you know there is a nearby stable, so you go over there, and inside is many of the horses along with a few of the caravan members. Only a quick search around, you discover that Lovius is still tied with his hands up on a post now. So he's laying down. He's sitting down in some straw, kind of pouting as his hands are tied up next to his body. So he is there.
I'd like to approach him and ask if he knew of anyone else that had a keen eye on the shield that he was so greedy for.
All right, how does Ireva actually say that to him?
Walk up and I go, "Hello, sad one. Well, I'm glad to see you're still tied up. We find ourselves at a bit of a troubling situation. The shield has once again gone missing. I wanted to know if you happen to know of anyone else that might have interest in the shield. If you can provide any information that might turn in favor of us finding the shield once again, we may be able to add a little bit more of a favorable situation to what you're dealing with right now."
He's just kind of pouting to himself. Doesn't even look up at you. Just turns his head like, Then he says, I don't know nothing more about anyone in the caravan. You're cruel, all of you.
I am not the fool that stole someone's shield. And with that, I don't care, so I just walk away.
Yeah, he scoffs just like, as you are walking away from him.
And I'll return to the bar, and I'll stand back by the table and to Ondar say, "Ondar, unfortunately, the one that took your shield previously is still tied up, so my investigation with him or my looking into him went nowhere. He doesn't seem to, or decides it doesn't matter to share any additional information.
I mean, I feel like I wasn't paying a lot of attention, but I would have noticed if a halfling had run in here and stole the shield.
Had to have been magically removed.
Are you sure you didn't drop it somewhere? Is there like a big crack in the floor? Maybe it fell down a crack?
It was here. I stood to attempt to end that poor soul's life, and I couldn't because I did not beseech Torm properly. I returned. I wiped my shield clean of the gore from the previous fight. I turned to watch Hawkeye remove some of the bodies, and it was missing.
You think Tom took it back because you did a bad job fighting that unarmed and helped
No,
his man?
I think someone took it. Perhaps Storm did take it as punishment. Perhaps I have failed him.
I mean, if you're talking about magically stealing it, that seems to make more sense considering the three of us sat here. It did not get up and...
Wait, shh.
Wait, did it get up and walk away? Did anybody see if it got up and walk away?
I look under the table.
All right, Andar. You look under the table, and you see a knee holding up your shield on the underside of the table. The knee is connected to the half-elf. He is moving it this way.
The half-elf, meaning the bard?
Freddy?
Freddy.
I look back up above the table at Freddy.
Ah, you caught me. Drop it off my knee and hand it back.
I wouldn't play that. He's a dangerous game you're playing, man. He will stab you for that shield.
I was not going to keep it. Just cause a little bit of harmless fun.
Ureva just shakes her head and under her breath goes, "Frickin' half-elves."
I glare at him. I glare at him.
I had to nudge his shoulder too.
I don't snatch it. I don't snatch it. I look at Hawkeye and I go, no, it's fine, Hawkeye. I don't snatch it.
I still haven't had my honey.
I take it from him gently. I set it in the floor. I don't remove my hand from the shield, though. I keep it in my grip. And I just tilt my head in the dog fashion, like, why? What? What are you saying? I don't understand human. You know, that RCA Victor kind of, what? You know, look. And I don't understand, Freddy. That's not funny after what I went through with the worthless halfling. I don't understand. I thought we were friends and compatriots. And I stand and I go, good night, friends. And you too, Freddy. And I leave the building.
Yeah, see, that's why I was going to say not to play with a shield today, because now, next time you are getting stabbed, he is not going to help you the way you would hope.
Go sleep in the
I'm going to shoulder check Freddy. Not like an attack, but like shoulder check him like I did Carlin.
Wherever the stable is, that's where I go sleep.
All right, Hawkeye, make me another strength check. And Freddy, you can make an athletics. You can make an athletics or an acrobatics.
Hold on.
I mean, anything's gonna beat a 3, basically.
Yeah.
So
You might need to change your dice there, Hawkeye.
All right, Hawkeye, you
yeah.
Not rolling well
you
so
try
far.
to shoulder nudge him from your position on the ground, but it's extremely awkward, and he just kind of bumps to the side a little bit to look down at you, like thinking, "What the hell?"
You
We're
realize
not heavy yet.
I gotta spend my entire day riding alongside of him, and he is gonna pout a lot now.
I
I'm
just
going
meant to have a
to-
little bit of harmless fun. We all had a bunch of serious moments today. I thought a little lighthearted prank would do good. Perhaps it was in ill humor.
Yeah, I would have used like magic or something to make it turn to jelly. Can you do that? That would have been funny. See, now that's a good
Jelly?
joke. Yeah, you make it touch like he touches it and it feels like jelly. And he'd be like, "That's jelly on my shield," but it's not. And he still has it.
While you may have mentioned
Look on that joke for me. Can you make something at your ravers feel like jelly so that she'll be mad at you too? Because that'll be funny.
Ureva glares at Nock.
I don't
I mean, at
think
this
I
point,
can
we're
quite
glaring
make
it out.
that work,
Everybody's
but
getting glares now, so let's do this thing, I
super
guess.
glares.
And as Nock makes that joke and Freddy seems to consider it, Ureva's just going to casually grab her bow and put it on the table.
So she's just letting you do it. It's
Everybody
not
starts
funny if she
putting all
wants
their
it.
belongings on top of the table now.
Well, with her hand on it, like in kind of a, do it, I dare you, it's right there, I'll shoot you.
How are you
She
going to
w-
shoot him?
She won't shoot it. She
No,
won't shoot
no,
you.
no,
Do
no,
it. Jelly
no.
it.
That's if I was gonna jelly anything, it wouldn't be the bow. It might be an arrow, jelly an arrow.
Oh, that makes more sense. You really catch her off guard if she's like, oh, I need an arrow to shoot that guy. Ah, it's jelly!
Puts her hand in her quiver, comes out all sticky.
Right? That would be the worst. Of course,
Well-
then one of us might get stabbed if she needed an arrow to shoot a bad guy, but, you know, I get stabbed all the time anyway.
Well, if
I
you
wouldn't
can
muck
turn
'em
it
all
to
up, just
jello, I
one.
hope you could turn it back. Or does our little
Of
bard
course.
have that ability?
All jokes are not.
Well, I do understand that you were trying to make a joke. I have never seen someone more attached to a physical object than I am with the shield.
Hence the humor of it going missing again.
You have a strange skill for humor, half-elf. I advise that after he's had some time to sleep this upset off, maybe tomorrow you provide him with a little more sincere of an apology.
Or, I mean, just pitch this. Since he's already mad at you, do more jokes on him. I mean, he's not going to get more mad.
And with that, I roll my eyes and I go up to the bar because I need an entire bottle of wine to hang out with you two.
What if in his sleep you turn his hair green? Come on, you got magic,
Be
right?
careful now. Be careful now. That would be like shaving
Not my
Fabio,
flowing
right?
locks.
Shaving Fabio.
Perhaps you fell asleep in a green jelly.
We got a lot of jelly-based pranks coming your way.
You know, he's not vain. Well, not too vain. Well, I don't know, you know.
Just about the hair.
Be prideful, if anything. Perhaps not vain.
I mean, he does have an 18 charisma.
To Ureva
so, you know,
and
I
change
mean,
back into my human void form.
Okay. Get the in here.
And I ordered 2 bottles of wine. So once I have my 2 bottles, I will then return to the table. And they don't have a cup. I don't have a glass.
Alright, the map did the weird thing again when switching tokens.
Close and reopen it. See if that works.
Okay.
Close the map and then double click on the token on your character sheet. It's the top right one.
Aha, that worked.
All right,
And now
wine.
I go over to Ureva.
A fine bottle of wine you discover to be worth 10 gold pieces, and a common pitcher is 2 silver pieces.
I'll do a fine bottle and a pitcher.
Okay, so 10 gold pieces and 2 silver pieces total from you, please.
Yeah, you want me to take
Could
that
we
off?
share?
Yes.
I mean, I was going to ask her if she would like to share so we could split the price of the bottle. Or I guess split it in general, if she wants to.
All right, so as you are making this exchange, Ireva, Hawkeye actually tosses out 5 gold pieces.
Okay.
So 222, and then Hawkeye, please deduct 5 gold pieces.
Okay.
And how many
then-
silver pieces did you say the pitcher was?
Silver pieces
2.
is 2.
And then I slightly keep my voice very, very, very low. And then look over at Ureva, like, not trying to make notice of it just so she knows. And I was like, I kind of took some of Freddy's food earlier without him noticing.
Well, maybe it's the hunger that went to his head to cause him to be so stupid.
So this will be a funny thing to watch if he notices.
All right, so you guys are able to return to the table.
2 large containers of wine richer.
Yes.
All right, and I'll sit back down and kind of plunk them both down and ask Hawkeye which one she prefers.
Did you see that message, Sauerkraut?
Yep.
Okay. Hawkeye, you see Freddy smirking to himself as he's looking down at the bowl.
Smirking?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just reaches his wooden spoon down and starts to eat the meal. Anyone seeing him will find Andar almost spooning his meal.
Yeah. No one's taking it now. I don't know what one I prefer. Anyone, I guess, to answer your Rapa's question.
What was that question?
Oh, she asked what one I preferred.
Oh,
And I
gotcha.
said, well, I don't prefer any of them.
It's a pathetic sight out there, isn't it?
The paladin of all people.
It's such a good shield. Oh, it's a good shield.
I'm never gonna leave you alone again.
All right, is there anything else you guys would like to do before we end the night?
Talk to Greg.
All right, Greg reveals himself from within your hood, perched on your shoulder. He seems to have made a little nest upon a crook in your neck of some twigs and leaves that you have allowed him to do within your hood. Nice little cozy thing. Probably give him a little bits of food as he chirps to you happily.
Yeah. And then, are there like animals outside to find new friends?
There would be probably some foxes. Maybe
I want a fox. I want a fox.
deer around. You
I'm
would
going to
have
look for a fox.
Go ahead and make me. Let's see. Make me a survival check. Try and like track and find some of these creatures. 11.
Goodness
All right,
gracious.
you're walking through the nearby area. There is small woods pocketed around, some sparse trees next to the road. You're moving through the area, not quite so pretty nonchalantly. But many of the animals are spooked before you can get near them. You swore that you saw a fox dart away, as well as hearing some rustling as you got near. You do not actually manage to find any yet. Alright, so I think we will end this night. You can all finish a long rest.
I appear to have 16 hit die. That ain't right.
What?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I just went and looked at my main page. It says I have 16 hit die, but I looked at like my leveling thing. It's correct there, but
man,
for
I
some
did it
reason
again.
they give.
Yeah, I did it again.
I have 9 hit die. I'll take
I
it.
have 16 hit
16
die. I don't know if
on
that's
mine,
good
yeah.
or not.
Yeah. Well, it was weird because the iconography was correct. Oh, it's
Yeah, I
yes,
got it
I
wrong.
see how it was.
Yep.
It was 4 of those 4. Okay. I was like, well, it shows 4 there. That's correct. Why is it 16? Yep. That would be it. Thank you.
Because I was
Where's it coming from?
I was.
Yeah, it's weird that they don't make that more clear, right? Because it's the die you use. I guess that makes sense for multi-classing, but yeah, it'd be nice if it told you right there, like ×4 or something, so that it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Good catch, because I did the same thing as last time, man.
I mean, there's no way we would have made the mistake of short resting, being like, all of us have 16 hit die to spend, but still better to knock it out of the way now.
Now I get it, because I was wondering where it denoted how many hit die you had.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just technically, I guess the level would probably be their modifier, because that's how hit die are calculated, it's just your level in that. So I guess that is how they're doing it, but that it just could be a little clearer.
Yeah, on your sheet, it's got the 3 on top of the die, or the 4 on top of the die to say that you have that many. I'd never put 2 and 2 together with that.
And it works.
All right, I got that fixed. Getting that fixed. Okay, so you all wake up in your chosen rooms or chambers for the night. Andar having slept in the stables along with Edelri and a few of the others. Just happy to have some dry ground to lay on. And you manage to wake up the next day to another dreary day of rain. Those within Those within the hostel go downstairs to see a few of the other merchants eating their breakfast, having bowls of oatmeal ready and prepared for them.
I'm gonna see if Ureva wants to go look for a fox.
We're getting back out on the road, so don't wander too far now.
The barkeep walks over. My heroes, here for some oatmeal this morning.
I mean, you have something better than oatmeal? Because, I mean, I would expect, some eggs maybe. We're in a real place. I can make myself
Do you have
oatmeal.
apples and berries?
You can find apples and berries outside. We should be eating real food when we're at the real food establishments.
It's for the horses.
Stop giving the horses all the apples. There's too much sugar in it. You're gonna kill the damn things.
The barkeep responds, sadly I do not carry any chickens. Fear eggs are going to be a hard commodity to come by out here. My apologies, all I have is oatmeal for the breakfast meals.
I can look for chickens outside.
You can certainly try.
Ureva, do you want to come with me?
I think I'll remain here and enjoy the oatmeal. Plus, I feel there needs to be an extra set of eyes on the bard.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Permanently ruined his reputation.
I'll go outside and look for chicken/fox.
Alright, go ahead and roll me a survival check.
Chicken in the fox house?
Oh, thank the Lord.
You look around, a lot quieter this time, also being masked by the rainfall. You do not find any chickens, for there are no chickens around, but you do manage to find a foxhole where you suspect that one might be sleeping inside at the moment.
We don't call them those anymore. We call them fighting holes.
I'll do animal friendship.
Animal friendship.
Just so they're charmed and
Gotcha.
don't want to run away.
It must see and hear you, so it cannot see you right now.
Oh. I'll do speak with animals first then.
All right. You may-
Hello.
As
Good
you as you
morning.
as you speak a soft what'd you call that, greeting in the tongue of the animals, you hear some rustling within, almost seeming kind of fearful.
And then I'll do the animal friendship.
Well,
It's okay.
it's still
I
within.
mean no harm. Oh, does it have to see and hear me?
Yeah, it has to see and hear you. At the moment you say, "I mean no harm," for a split second, you see a pair of beady eyes poke out from the hole and look at you, and then duck within. Who are you? What do you want?
My name is Hawkeye, and I just want to be friends.
But-
I have a little birdie here. I mean, hopefully you won't hurt my bird, but his name's Greg.
But you're one of the men.
No, I don't hurt animals.
What are you doing? What are you doing by my den? How did you find me?
I mean, I can smell out animals since I can change into animals.
You what? And then the head
Yeah.
pokes out for a split second again, as he looks you up and down, and then he ducks back into the hole. You don't look like the animals.
I mean, I can change into an animal if you'd like me to. Would it be easier with you to change into an animal?
I don't know. The laws of the forest. It's hard to trust.
I understand. I mean, I can change into a wolf. Don't know if that would be scary for you. I could change into a horse.
You could change into a fox too if you really wanted to. Your wild shape
can
is
I?
your wild shape is not entirely restricted to the forms. That's just those are just the animals with a challenge rating. You could change into a fox. A fox just doesn't have a challenge rating. Like it,
A mouse,
Then I'll do that.
whatever.
I'll change into a fox.
yeah.
A
All
rat.
right. Hawkeye changes into a fox.
Really useful to change into like a cat and then go like on a scouting mission or something.
Oh, yeah, that's a smart idea. I didn't know I could change into, like, any animal that doesn't have a challenge rating.
More
Yeah.
or less, except you can't do flyers, and at some point,
Yeah,
right now
yeah.
you probably can't do swim, but you unlock those as you level.
I think she unlocked swim. I'm pretty sure she did.
At 4, did you already lock that? Okay. I couldn't remember if it was 4 or 6.
I'm pretty sure it's
I
4.
think she has a. Yeah, I think she has a fish, but like nothing with a challenge range. She can't like be a kraken or something.
Yeah.
Can't be a shark.
All right, Hawkeye.
Eventually, you could be a shark, though.
You morph into your wild shape, taking on the form of a fox. A very nice, silvery, like you have the orange fur of a fox, but it has like a silvery, a soft hue to it.
See? I'm friendly.
He looks within his den to the entrance where he actually sees the form of a fox. What? And then now he tentatively kind of edges his way out as he's looking at you. And then after seeing the entirety of your form as this fox and looking around, not noticing the human that was just here, he jumps out in a playful manner. Who are you? What is this?
I told you my name is Hawkeye.
You're the man?
Yes, well, humanoid, but yes.
Oh, this is something I've never expected.
Would you like to join me on my journey? I mean, Greg did.
What journey? Where are you going?
My name's Hake, and we're going to Waterdeep right now. But I mean, I love companions. I have a horse. I have Greg.
What's Waterdeep?
I would keep you safe. It's a town, but I would keep you safe.
A town? What's that?
I mean, it might be a little scary because it has more people. I have a ranger friend who loves animals.
Why would you want to go
And
to
she would
more
love
people?
to have you in our company too.
You're playing tricks, aren't you?
No, no tricks. And then
he's kind of bouncing around playfully around you.
I can show you one of my friends. He has a nice shield, but he wouldn't hurt you either.
He
If you
gives
would like
you
to come with us.
a very curious look because you are using words that he has no idea.
Would you like to meet other humans? Or more humans
At this, he kind
who are
of
friends of mine?
shakes his head like, why the hell would I want to do that? He's like, humans, those men are dangerous.
Not all men.
I've yet
I
to
mean,
meet a man that wasn't dangerous. They see
met
me,
me?
and then they shoo me away with their sticks.
I have a stick, but I wouldn't shoo you away with it.
Hawkeye, you're something else. You know that? Where do you come from?
I come from the woods with the sharp teeth.
Sharp teeth. That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. But nonetheless, the woods.
All right. At this point, I'm gonna go back to the tavern with Noct, Ireva, Freddy, and now Ondar. Ondar has received a bowl from Freddy. Before Ondar can sit down, Jamna actually comes over, plops down a seat next to you guys.
Good morning.
She sidles over in a way to kind of. It seems kind of telling, like she's shielding whatever she's doing with her back, and she actually grabs your bowl and places it in front of her, Freddy, without actually responding to you. And after poking through your oatmeal with the blade of her dagger, the gnome lifts it out and shows you an oatmeal-smeared object resembling a tiny bead. He glances over her shoulder towards the other end of the inn, where there are cultists sitting at their breakfast. "It's a sliver of bone," she whispers. "Curled into a circle, so you can swallow it in a mouthful of gruel without noticing. Once eaten, it slowly uncurls inside you, exposing needle points that pierce your guts and kill you slowly. Suspect they're in all your breakfasts." And then she just nonchalantly kind of puts the bowl back, tucks her dagger in, whispers, or says a more audible sign of good morning, and then gets away. But not before turning back to regard you. "Let's talk this evening." Then she goes to the other end at her seat, just as Ondar is approaching the table.
I nod before she leaves. I should say Freddy nods.
And I'll just kind of push my oatmeal away from me, suddenly very not interested.
I'm sorry, what was that, Ondar?
I was laughing.
Oh.
Seems we've made some friends.
How so?
Well, don't eat your slime there. It's, let's call it poisoned, I suppose.
It's booby trap. Sounds weird.
I mean, I wasn't happy about eating this slime to begin with. I was really hoping that she would come back with some eggs.
You were wanting rock stew for breakfast this morning?
I suppose.
Eggs are not rocks. Those are two different things.
Well, I had grown quite accustomed to your cooking, Not. I thought perhaps you wanted that.
I mean, my cooking is not poisoned or booby trapped or whatever, so yeah, I would take that today.
So Ondar takes his spoon and starts digging into what is in here that is poison. It's poison?
All right, Ondar, go ahead and make me an
Ondar?
investigation check.
Okay. I mean, he's not eating it. He's, digging into
I'll find it with my teeth.
investigation check. Okay.
Yes. Ooh. All right, Ondar. You kind of look through your oatmeal, digging through it, trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about. You find several small lumps that might be bone slivers. But honestly, they could just as easily be oat husks, sawdust, or even insect eggs.
Which, having served with a, quasi-military unit is normal for, field grub, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't see anything out of the ordinary in here. I mean, I've eaten worse. Not
And-
talking about your cooking, Not. I'm serious. I'm, not comparing anything.
And anyone that would look over at the cultist table sees them conversing with themselves, seeming normal, not very emotive, just kind of like, more like they're just trying to pass the time with conversation. But you do see that they keep looking in your general direction, appearing to try to hide their interest. Every
I don't know
once
if
in
you
a
saw in the
while,
chat, but Freddy's gonna fake eat the oatmeal.
right? Every once in a while, Noct, you notice one of them keeps looking at you.
Ondar, I've
Yes.
had about as much of them as I want to take. Considering we've already bloodied this place up, we could just end this now.
You're talking about the...
Talk about going over to that table where those three gents are sitting and killing them viciously.
this moment.
Not. We are not
Well,
here to kill them.
that's
We're
why-
here to find out where they're going.
Yeah, but now they've accelerated the situation by trying to poison me or booby trap, whatever.
We are sure it was them that... Where's the evidence of the poison? You have it? Yes?
Well, the little one, she said it, and I mean, I don't know why I like her word over theirs, but maybe. All right, fine. I'm looking for an excuse to kill them, but that's not important, Ondar.
It is. There's 3 of them. There's 4 of us.
There were fucking 4 of those other guys.
We don't want to hurt our progress in our overall mission, Noct.
Well, we know where we're going. Castle Neatar, somewhere in the Mirror of Dead Men, north of Waterdeep. Yes?
West of Waterdeep.
Northwest of Waterdeep.
Northwest of what we know where the Neatar is. We know where the Mirror of Waterdeep, Mirror of Dead Men is. We know it is somewhere north and west of Waterdeep. It should be easy to find when we get to Waterdeep. Yes?
At this
Yeah, probably.
discussion, Carlin Amafel speaks up, and he looks kind of worried, like, no, we can't kill them quite yet. And he's like speaking in whispered tones, like, we need to discover exactly where they're going. We need information.
So we
Fine,
killed
we
2 of
killed
them.
2 of them. Yeah, exactly. Ondar's got me on this. We only need 1, and he only's got to be so alive.
Yeah, but there's many more outside, plus many
Yes.
innocents. What if they decide to kill some of the caravan merchants?
Well, they got their own gods, don't they?
there's
One of
they're-
them's got a fucking gargoyle protecting him. I'm not worried about them.
Right.
They're a
Yeah.
united front, though. It would be many different pockets of guards fighting one force that is
Well, they will
just trying to
expose
kill
themselves.
everybody. Yeah.
I agree with Carlin. At the very least, if you guys want to do this, we need to at least warn and organize the other caravans first.
Well, there's
We
no
get them on the
way.
road. We get them on the road. We let the other merchants know what they are, who they are, what they've done, what their intentions are, and we get them banded with us against them, and then tomorrow evening or tomorrow day, especially we let them know, Carlin, you don't know this, but they have a red wizard with them.
Are you sure we can trust the other caravans?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with I don't trust them to keep their mouth shut and or not be part of the cult. I mean,
So how do we know that they aren't part of them and undercover trying to weed out groups such as us?
not to mention yesterday was a bit of a. If they're gonna take anybody's side, they're not gonna take ours. I bare ripped a man's heart out. I eviscerated a guy. You accosted that short little freak.
And
Also
even
Let's
remember-
call it what it
also-
is. We're the bad guys here.
Also, remember that other one over there, Jamna, wants to discuss something with us tonight. That would ruin our chances of talking to her if we did something like that today. The caravan would very easily disperse.
You trust this gnome?
No, I don't. But I don't think we have a whole lot of other choice at the moment. We kind of fucked ourselves by not disguising ourselves up.
Well, I don't believe in skullduggery.
And it's
I am
not
what
like
I
we
am.
haven't been.
we are out of favor with too many of our fellow wagons for us to try and be the ones to round them all together.
Well said, Ureva.
I'm gonna stand with my friend not here.
It's not that I don't agree with you guys. It's not that I don't want to do it too. But brashness has well so far. I think we should try slightly different.
Well, they have been brash. They have now made an attempt on our lives.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to have to look over my fucking shoulder the next, 4 days? Probably. Next 4 days as we try to get to Waterdeep. And even then, as soon as we get there, we're going to have to play some catch-up little game to try to stay with the caravan. Time is of the essence on losing them at the Waterdeep anyway.
Right. And if they so much as look cross-eyed at us, I think that will be excuse enough for my friend here to go bestial on them, and that's the only excuse we shall need.
And Carlin speaks up again. He says, at least, like, I understand your wish to just be done with them, but you have to understand this is not even nearly the entire host of the cult of the dragon's body. It's mere fingernails on the fingers of the hands of what is the true danger. We need to see. It has been explained to me by my harpers that we need to find out how extensively this whole thing runs. I understand, believe me, but I don't think we should make any move of aggression until we reach Waterdeep at least. We know they're headed to Waterdeep, we don't know where they're headed afterwards. We talk of this Castle Neritar, but I can't say I've ever heard of it.
I've barely heard of it. I barely know where it is. But some secret lies there. We know basically where it is. What else do we need to know? We can find it. We can contact one of your agents in Waterdeep. I'm sure there's someone from the Lord's Alliance we can contact in Waterdeep that can give us access to, we can get something in Waterdeep, I'm sure. We can talk to the lords there and gain access to something. People, equipment, horses, if need be.
But then we would also, what if, okay, so here's the situation. If we do take care of these few, what happens to the rest of the cultists on this wagon? What if they disperse and we can't catch them? I don't know if you noticed,
Well,
but
we're going to lose them at the water deep anyway.
But then they'll be alerted to our presence and they'll know that they're being watched and they can tell their own superiors. I believe as yet we still have the element of surprise. They don't know that there are those within the caravan watching them. That's
I'm
not
pretty sure when you try to kill 4 people, you know that they're onto you. You think they did that for what? Shits and giggles?
Right, because they don't like us?
Yeah. We didn't attack them, we killed a bunch of bandits that were hanging out in a bar and they decided to try to kill us. Not to mention, look, you brought a bunch of hammers to a fucking, to your little fucking nail party here. Are not exactly incognito. Ondor, not exactly playing down his role.
I probably made a mistake by trying to look in their wagon.
That was probably less than ideal, yeah.
Carlin also...
We all make our choices, I don't blame you.
Yeah, Carlin also digs through the oatmeal same as Ondar had, and he says, there's nothing here that tells me there's any bone splinters. That could be anything. And then he takes one of the little pieces and holds it up, and still trying to be a little more incognito, not any drastic movements so that the cultists see what's going on. But he holds up the piece and looks at it, and he's like, does that look dangerous to you? It could be anything. It could just be an oat lump.
Okay, eat it then. If you're so sure, you eat it, and if you don't die, then we won't kill them.
All right.
And if you do die, we'll have a good excuse.
He is going to make a wisdom check right now.
How dumb is Carlin?
What should the DC be?
That's up to you, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Also,
I guess, like, how dumb is he? Like, literally, what's his wisdom score? Because that would probably hurt him if he's really bad.
Yeah, I'm going to say a DC
How
of
smart is he?
12. 12 or higher, he does not eat it. He looks at you, Nocton. He contemplates it for a second, and then just goes, pushes the bowl.
That's about what I thought. It's real easy to say that nobody's trying to kill you until you have to actually eat the poison.
So the gnome came over here and told you all that there was poison.
Or booby traps, as Freddy put it. It would be more accurate to call it
Did
booby
she
trap.
point it out to you?
I mean, she dug it out of the oatmeal with a knife.
Where?
But we also have no proof that it is in fact what it says it is, and that's why it's important that we actually talk with her tonight and be on our guard.
Did she? Where?
What do you mean, where?
Where is this poison?
Right here. Oh, the poison?
Yes.
It's the booby trap. It's this little thing.
Yeah.
And she.
She described it as a curled up piece of bone that inside of your stomach expands and needles stick out.
Okay, so is it visible? Does Freddy have it in his hand or in his bowl or?
There was one that she pulled out. I don't know what
Yeah,
happened to it. Did she
Did she leave it with
Did she
us?
like shake it? Yeah, did she leave it? Did she shake it off her dagger? What did she do with it?
She, okay, Freddy, go ahead and roll me an investigation. Okay, Freddy, you think about this for a bit. You do the Rain Man, all the calculations and equations playing out in front of your head. The ellipse and all that. You also know, like, oatmeal is usually lumpy. It could either be a very genius way to kill people by hiding such a bone splinter in the meal, or it could just be regular oatmeal that someone such as the gnome could be using to get your attention. When you think back and try to remember exactly all of her movements, she seemed to place the dagger into the bowl rather carefully rather than just nonchalantly scooping it out, leading you to believe that perhaps she put the bone splinter in.
I say to the party, well, now that you mention it, thinking about her, the way she was digging into the bowl was rather suspicious. Based off her movements and whatnot, it's certainly possible that the bone splinter was on the dagger before it went in my oatmeal.
Well, so perhaps she planted the evidence, maybe?
It's possible, but I do not have any evidence pointing one way or the other.
Anyone want a ration?
I mean, I'm already faking the oatmeal, so Freddy's gonna shake his head and decline.
I'll go check on Intrepid. I'll be back later. Andar gets up and walks out to the stable.
All right, so at this point, go ahead.
I was just say there's simply too many unanswered questions and unknown factors for us to make rash actions.
Right.
All right, so as Andar
I get up
is...
to leave with Andar.
Okay,
Yeah,
Andar and
I am
Matt.
not happy about this though.
So as we are
Neither am
leaving,
I.
Riding that fucking
as we are
horse.
leaving this scene, we can go back to Hawkeye speaking with the fox. You have spent the last couple minutes.
What does the fox say?
Oh no!
Do not start that. Yeah, the theme music starts playing. Okay, so Hawkeye and the fox are kind of playing together. You join in on this game of chase and tag, going through all the underbrush and everything. After a time, Hawkeye, you begin to attempt convincing this fox to be your companion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the fox speaks up. You're fun, Hawkeye.
Why, thank you. It's fun having you around too.
About before, you're saying something in my den about joining you? What do you
Yeah,
mean? What do you mean
about-
joining you?
I mean, once we're on a horse, you know what a horse is, right?
Yeah, I've seen many men riding them.
Yeah,
Curious.
so I ride one sometimes, but I mean, on breaks we could play chase and stuff again. You could just come along for the journey, and I don't know if you've ever had scratches behind your ear, but
Okay,
but
so
they feel great because when I could change into a bear, because I could change into many animals, they feel great.
did you ever cast Animal Friendship? Because I know I kind of put a pause on that. Did you actually cast it? Is he charmed or?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did it right after he saw me, like right as soon as he saw me.
Charmed means that it can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magical effects. And you have advantage on any ability check to interact socially with the creature. Okay. So, make me a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh,
Okay.
-1.
So he, the fox kind of knocks its head to the side, curiously at your proposal, and says, well, don't really want to leave my den, but these scratches you talk about, that sounds interesting. What exactly is that? Leading you to believe
May
that
I
like
show you?
he has no idea what you're talking about. Oh yeah, give me this scratch.
I have to be a man to do that. If that's
And
okay with you.
He looks kind of startled at this, not frightened, but just kind of like, what do you mean a man? He still hasn't quite put together that you were actually the human that he first saw. But he is charmed, so he is convinced that you mean him no harm.
Yeah, so I'll step back a little bit and then change it back into the human, and then like kneel down and like do the scratches behind the ear and like pets and stuff.
All right, so you change back into your humanoid form. Oops.
See, it's me.
Change back into your humanoid form, and he looks wide-eyed as a fox, but does not run away, for he is still charmed. And you give him some scratches, and then he does that thing like the dogs, where when you're scratching behind his ear, he does his hind leg. Oh,
See, these feel great.
oh, that's wonderful. You give me more of those?
Yeah, I'll give you all the scratches you want. Granted, we have like time for it, and if I'm not insanely busy, but when I'm riding a horse, I could give you scratches. You could sit on my lap.
You know what? That sounds wonderful. Hold on real quick. And then he just disappears. And then after a couple minutes, he returns with something in his mouth.
What is that?
Oh, this is my shiny. And then you look down to see there's like this little brass bell that he has with him. All right, I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Could I put it around your neck, and like, so you could just have the ding, and it will be with you whenever you want. You don't have to carry it in your mouth.
I mean, okay. And then you reach down and you take a little like strap from your own clothing, or like a piece of linen. You manage to wrap it around his neck, kind of like a collar with the bell on him. And there's a light dinging as he moves around, and then he jumps around excitedly from side to side. He seems overjoyed at this.
May I pick you up and show you to my friends?
Sure.
And then I'll carefully pick the fox up and then carry it back to the party.
All right. What are you gonna call the fox?
Ureva gave me a name, so I'll do that name. She said Twitch of Reynard.
Reynard? Yes.
I told her that we had a suggestion from Twitch.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Reynard. We'll do
All right.
Reynard.
So you have the little bird.
Oh, let's call it Twitch. I'm kidding.
Yeah, Twitch. Reynard.
Kidding.
Greg, and then you have the fox.
Reynard. Yeah.
All right.
Are you just making a note on the side?
Yep, I'm making a note on your actual character sheet.
Oh,
Have
okay.
that. Okay, so the rest of you, after you have finished the little bit of breakfast that you managed to have, Hawkeye comes back and she's carrying a fox.
That has a little bell.
Upon seeing the fox, Ureva completely lights up.
Oh,
Does she give a squeal?
She's far more animated than intended, and immediately like regains her composure and walks as calmly over as she can now pretend to be.
Yep. I wasn't that excited.
And then to the fox, I'll
And-
be like, see, this is your Rava. She's really nice.
And at first, it's kind of like huddled down within you, looking around suspiciously.
She gives nice scritches too.
Not, she is collecting woodland creatures.
I offer my hand,
Yeah, I see it.
palm up to the fox.
We have a Mrs. Doolittle on our hands.
Ready? What do we do?
I mean, look, just get ready for the day that those things fucking kick it, and it's gonna be a bad day. So I'm gonna be ducking out when that happens.
We're gonna have to build a cart of some sort. 2 of every kind.
No, she's got to carry the fucking thing. Well, maybe make her like a. When I was little, my mum would make a little papoose, and I would ride around with her. So maybe we can make one of those for it. I don't know.
You were little one?
Maybe
Yeah,
we
I
can make
was
her a
about
little
7
pup
weeks old,
stomach.
and then I outgrew it the next day.
Right, I was going to say, that couldn't have been very long.
No, we ended up using it. I would carry it around my dad
That's
for a
for
while.
dwarves, yes. I was going to say, there was a time once when you carried your family, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot. I am curious to see how that fox is gonna ride a horse.
Right? Right.
It's gonna be on my
I don't think
lap.
Boy, as somebody who has pretty big-sized dogs that do love a good lap sit while you drive, it sucks, and like that's not even a horse. That's in a car.
And I don't know how he's going to sit in your lap when your legs are on the side of the horse.
Telling you, you're gonna have to build like a little papoose, and you're gonna have to carry him around like that, and cast a lot of speak with animal to keep telling him it's okay.
It
This
could
is
ride on my
normal.
shoulder.
Yeah, perpetually cast calm animal.
I have an awesome little image from Drake for you. I can actually get that. Go in. Drake has made a token for Reynard.
Raynard.
Oh.
Reynard. Oh, I get it. Okay. Yeah, I can get that. I'll make a Reynard a token for you then. Okay, Hawkeye. So, it's charmed for the next 24 hours. That just for the purposes of that spell, the charm was just so that it understood you meant it no harm. After the 24 hours,
But if
yeah,
it decides to come,
yeah. After the 24 hours, he just won't be charmed anymore. So like this is the time where you
Like
know you
Greg.
can, yeah. So he'll probably stick around.
yay, Reynard.
I mean, he brought his shiny, so
Yeah.
Yeah, he did bring his shiny.
All right.
One
so,
errant fireball is gonna wipe out your little petting zoo, and it is gonna be the worst day of Hawkeye's
no,
life.
it's not. No, it will destroy me, and I will fill with rage, even though I don't have rage.
It will destroy you. Did you see how Urava acted? Oh, man.
I'll just say, you have a bird that sits on your shoulder. One AoE attack is going to vaporize that bird. You need to come up with a better plan for combat.
Now, y'all remember,
He's not going to sit on my shoulder for combat.
The story is called what?
He goes back to the Hoard.
Almost like those things that breathe fire.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
gonna
Well,
go
we'd
back
hate
to
to
the
waste the
Hoard.
corpse. He's cooked, so now it's chicken wings.
Hey,
Oh
that
my-
is so rude.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Pigeon wings.
So as
Does Fox make a good stew?
as the breakfast kind of finishes up and many of the merchants are packing their wagons and their gear and everything, getting ready to go, it is time to set out once again.
Not.
Yeah.
Hey, just the lady. She snores.
What lady? What are you talking
The
about?
lady elf.
Which one? We're surrounded by the damn things.
No, the one that hired us. She was in one stall. I was in the other last night. She snores loud.
Right.
I never really noticed it before because we sleep far apart. But oh man, oh horrible.
Well, I don't know what to do with that information, Ondar.
That's just I don't know. It's horrible.
Ondar's
Disgusting.
dreams just fall down into pieces.
Disgusting.
Women snoring? Not for me.
Yeah, the dwarf women with beards, lady elves snoring.
It's just too much. What's a man to do?
Might as well just throw in now. Take that vow of celibacy.
Never.
Or you could just bat for the other team.
Never.
Yeah, what are his prospects? You, Freddy?
Yeah, they're pretty low, aren't
shield.
they?
Unhand my shield, you half elf, you. It's not my shield, Freddy. Leave it alone.
Is that just your shield, or are you happy to see me?
I'm very happy to see you. Can't you tell?
All right, after another day of travel,
I have Renard on my other shoulder.
you actually on setting out after a little bit of travel, maybe like an hour or so, the caravan rounds a little bend where it was rising up on a hill, and when you reach the crest, you look down to see a field covered with fungus and mushrooms. And a lot of the merchants are looking worried.
There we go.
Are looking worriedly at this scene, talking amongst themselves about what they are going to do.
I look over at Samardag. Is this normal?
Samardag looks on from his vantage point, and he's naive as ever. Oh, I don't know. I mean, mushrooms aren't all bad, are they?
Many of them are, unfortunately. Especially the live ones.
You know anything about mushrooms, Freddy? Maybe you should go check them out. We might be able to just trudge through. I don't know.
Let's see what I know about mushrooms.
You don't know fuck all.
I don't know shit.
You know mushrooms are either
what's
for
a
eating.
mushroom?
Yeah, you know mushrooms are either for eating or dying.
Dude,
Getting fucking ripped.
shrooms, man.
You got a 50-50.
The mushrooms that you
shot.
have encountered, Freddy, are not of the eating or dying kind.
Hey, see, those are still for eating. They just
Yep.
have different properties.
They're the kind of eating you do when you don't have a lot to do
Okay.
for a few days.
Yeah.
Field of
Hawkeye,
dreams, man. Field of dreams.
you have spent enough time in the wilderness to be able to identify poisonous mushrooms from edible mushrooms from the other kind and all kinds of fungi and flora. You know that these are indeed not poisonous. They are a strain of mushroom that grows fast in very wet conditions, and the ongoing pouring of rain seems to have created this field from a giant. What would you call that? Like a giant area of where the fungus is growing, and the rain is causing it to grow extremely fast. As you guys have stood up on the crest of this hill looking onward, you actually notice before your eyes it almost seems like the mushrooms are expanding and growing at a very fast rate. Hawkeye, you know they are not poisonous, but they will emit a cloud of black spores if disturbed. These are known as wailing mushrooms, for they release a moan of what sounds like pain when they explode in that puff of black spores. And if you inhale them, you get this sense of dread and despair. You know that is its actual defense mechanism. If you inhale these spores, you'll be overwhelmed with feelings of dread and despair, but they are not dangerous.
Sounds like depression.
Yeah.
Guys, they're not poisonous.
The rest
Right
of
then,
the
let's keep on going.
But
the
don't
rest of the
inhale them.
merchants, the rest of the merchants and everybody look at you like, what do you mean they're not poisonous? Look at them. Like, how do you know this information?
Because the DM told me.
The who?
You're gonna
I
have to convince
spent
them.
my whole life in woods, so I should know some mushrooms from not mushrooms of when they're poisonous and not poisonous. But don't inhale these because they emit black spores that will give you despair.
Many of the
Although
merchants.
they are not poisonous, don't necessarily touch them because they will emit the black spores. They're just
There's a whole field full of them. There's no way we're getting through that with carts
just don't
and
inhale
not
them.
touching spores.
So should we try to follow the edge of the forest, or just drive down the middle?
Hawkeye, would putting cloth over our mouths stop the spores?
Roll me another nature check, Hawkeye.
Okay, I was just like,
Just pick one. Yes. Whoops.
You think that's pretty reasonable.
that's a good idea, Freddy. Yes, we can.
We can, but would it work? That's not an answer to my question.
Yeah,
Yes,
you,
it will work.
Or can you?
you think it's pretty reasonable that a cloth over your face would definitely help deter the spores getting in your system. For the
it works for
effects of
coronavirus.
for the effects,
But
yeah,
does
these are Corona shrooms. For the effects of meta game, like how it works, basically the cloth over your face would probably give you a good bonus to whatever save you have to make.
All right. So we wear these like masks. I don't know if you guys know what masks are,
I just
but
got it. Corona shrooms.
There we go. Welcome to
Not
the
to make a
conversation.
joke out of something so serious.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, I'm wearing a
But-
tinfoil hat anyway, so you know.
but yes, the cloth would work over your mouth. That would seem to work far more than not having anything.
Many of the merchants are listening to you intently, kind of taking a different view with your seeming to be expert opinion. You're very convincing. Though not all of them are on board, there are still very many grumbles. And a lot of them point out like there's no way to circumvent it. It's the mushroom, the fungus is covering the entirety of the road, even going into the forests on either side.
We're not at the front of the
No,
caravan,
it's
though,
not.
right?
No, you're not.
Another question, Hawkeye. Does the fungi affect horses and other bovine?
From your first roll, you would say Hawkeye, that yes, it would affect pretty much every living creature, any living organism.
Yes, it would affect every living organism.
Very well. Then if we're to do this, we'd also have to cover up the horses and oxen mouth as well.
Hey, don't forget about Greg and Nayard.
Well, Greg could just fly over.
Okay, listen.
And they're hiding inside your cloak. As long as you don't billow your cloak around, that should be enough protection for them.
I guess that's true.
Is there any way to clear the fungus? Are they susceptible to fire, for example? Can we have somebody waving a torch in front that has them wither away?
Yes, that's definitely an option. They could probably very easily be like swept away, kind of just removed from the ground, you know, pushed off to the side. That would definitely trigger the black spores to release. Fire's another thing that could probably clear the way.
Well, then I say everyone rides the carts to stay off the ground as much as possible. We cover up the horses' mouths, and we have a set of people in the front with solid constitutions do their best to try to clear the way.
You say clear the way, what do you mean? Should we light torches and cause fire, or hack our way through, or what?
How high are these mushrooms? Are they like knee height? Like, are these like big old?
So when you first saw them, they were probably like 6 inches tall. I would say maybe like 10-15 minutes has passed where you're all kind of trying to figure out what to do. They have definitely grown considerably, close to like a foot tall. So they're growing at a very rapid pace, or not a foot tall. Yeah, not a foot tall. Sorry, that would be after like an hour. You think at the rate that they are expanding, after an hour, they would be a foot tall.
Yeah, torches, sweeping them away with your feet.
Yeah, you could use like a heavy broom, a scythe, or even a tree branch if you're.
Would earth tremor work?
I would suggest you save it.
Or like thunderwave?
Thunderwave, probably. No, not earth tremor. Thunderwave, probably.
Wouldn't that just paralyze them?
I also have poison spray as a cantrip. I don't know if that would help.
That would just make them grow.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't do anything. All right, what are you guys doing? How are you clearing this path? Drake says M58 mine clearing line charge.
I can see the line charge, yeah, for sure.
One of you magic folks has got to have some kind of fire, right? I mean, would you care? You guys got fire? Just set it on fire with your magic.
All right, I am going to attempt to Eldritch Blast a section of the spores ahead and see how that works.
All right, Freddy, you move up.
So let's say like that square right there. I'm gonna see if I can blast away the mushrooms with some eldritch energy.
Is your
from a safe distance?
Yeah, you have a range of 120 feet. So
yes.
Suddenly, as everybody's conversing and everything, Freddy kind of steps up and he extends a hand out, and then summons a beam of crackling energy that streaks towards the mushrooms.
Oh, that wasn't a great roll.
What was that?
That's the damage.
Oh,
for
that's the
blast.
damage? Okay. So it really wouldn't take much.
It's force, so it's
It
like
is force.
pushing.
Yes. So you actually do see that a lot of the mushrooms kind of get blasted and pushed out of that space. You think with enough of the similar force, you would definitely be able to clear a path that the wagon team would be able to follow.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So I
Drake,
have
for the
guiding
idea.
bolt,
What was that?
and it's a I have a guiding bolt. I don't know if it would help anything, but I could do like a streak because its range is 120 feet. So I could. My thought process was trying to clear all of it out in one sweep because it on a hit target it takes 5d6.
That
So I don't
is,
know if
that's on a creature. It's a single target, so it's a creature within 120 feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not like a beam. I don't think any of us have. We have like no AoE.
I have
do we?
moonbeam.
So after this blast, Freddy looks over his shoulder. Well, this could work, but it's gonna take me a while to clear a path.
And as the mushrooms actually disperse and get blasted, a puff of black spores does go out, and you all hear in the distance a moan of pain. Seems very, very off key to you right now.
All right, who didn't
Pretty
wear the
distressing.
mask?
It's pretty distressing.
It could also be the mushrooms, because don't.
Yeah,
Didn't
it
you
is.
say the mushrooms
It
make
was
that
the
noise?
mushrooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the wind like blowing towards us? Like, will all these spores come towards the caravan?
The
there is any
rain,
wind.
the rain is dropping, pretty much vertical.
Okay.
Is there
Then I
any
guess
animal I could do to try to clear it out?
Then I guess Freddy's gonna get started. He just starts blasting a 3 wide, like,
Yeah. Minecraft our way through this thing, man. Just dig. Like we're not getting through it any other way.
yeah, just like alternating hands, just.
Is there an animal that I could
Is
do to
anybody
help with that?
helping clear this, or is it just Freddy?
Yeah, well, I wanted to know if there would be an animal that wouldn't be affected by the spores, but like help, I guess.
You have a
I mean, you can certainly try. If you wanna change into an animal.
Pretty
But
sure that
like I
Noct and
said,
Ondar have
like I said
nothing to do.
before, yeah, like I said
Right.
before, the mushrooms,
The horse
to your
is
knowledge,
better.
would affect any living creature.
Somebody's gonna teach me how to throw magic fireballs or something.
How
This is
about we take the
ridiculous.
halfling and just use him like a scythe and just,
Yeah, how about we make a deal? He goes and clears it all out, and if he doesn't kill himself from the depression, then we'll let him go.
Depends how attached you are to your alignments.
oh, I'm pretty good with mine. Yeah.
Oh wait,
Hey, I'm
So-
neutral, man. I'll do it. I don't.
creature. That's. Could technically mushrooms be a creature or no?
No.
Okay, because I was thinking
I mean,
ice.
not
and
these
I-
ones. It sounds like there are
Yeah,
mushroom
'cause-
creatures, but I think these ones they just be mushrooms.
Because I
Okay,
was thinking
so
ice knife.
are you helping or not, Hawkeye?
Yeah, I'll do Thunderwave because you said that
Okay.
one would actually work.
All right, so Freddy, you managed to be able to work from range. Hawkeye, you're definitely going to have to get a little closer. So with 2 people helping, takes about 2 hours. Hawkeye, I need you to make me a Constitution save.
And you said I get advantage, correct? Since we're wearing the masks.
Not advantage, but make me a Constitution save. I'll let you know.
This one.
If needed, can I give her my inspiration?
That was actually enough. There's no need.
Okay.
Yeah. I took a -2 to the DC for the mask, and it's just enough. All right, Hawkeye. So as you and Freddy are working through this field, dispersing the mushrooms as best you can to forge a path through the mushroom forest for the rest of the caravan. Sounds of grief and remorse and wailing emit from the mushrooms as they are being destroyed and cast aside. It's quite distressing. You manage to hold on to your sanity, Hawkeye, for you are right next to it, and you're not taking in any of the spores. But the cries of pain and death are definitely a distressing thing to you. After about 2 hours, you manage to clear an adequate path where the rest of the caravan may travel through.
There you guys go.
All right, well done. You managed to escape, or rather, get through the fungus humongous.
The fungus among us.
Yeah, the fungus among us is humongous. Yeah,
Let's say that 5 times fast.
Drake
I'm
says
not
it was
really
all
that
the,
big.
Drake says that it wasn't the mushrooms, it was the Smurfs who destroyed their homes and their death throes.
Yeah, they had it coming.
All right, so you all managed to make it one more day closer to Waterdeep, and the day begins to end as the sun goes lower and lower, with the rain starting to disperse. Though the ground is still wet and slick with mud, the rain has stopped by the time you are ready to begin breaking camp for the night. It has been a long, grueling 8 hours of travel, and the rest of the caravan begins breaking camp. Get you on this map.
I'd take out Renard and start scratching behind his ears.
Find all these people. All right, you are now on the maps. You have free reign. The entire camp is breaking off to the side of the road.
Yeah. I scratch Renard's ears since he had to deal with that.
He chirps
Chirps.
like a fox, like. I don't know.
I thought you meant
I don't know
like
what, I
Greg,
don't know what
like how
foxes
Greg
sound
chirps,
like.
and I was like, whoa.
No.
They do make, that was accurate, they do make very like chirpy, like
Oh, see?
little yip yip noises.
Yep, see?
It's like
Yeah,
a
and,
cat,
and I'll
like,
scratch the
pout
belly
on a
too.
bird.
They're actually like the cutest animals that are on the earth, so I mean.
I walk over to Ureva with Renard.
I immediately again greet Renard with my hand first and once he seems relaxed, start scratching behind his ears.
He greatly appreciates.
And only Hawkeye can hear, but she hears a slight coo come from me before I can stop myself from letting it out.
Somebody's fond of Renard, huh?
He has a very nice coat, I say casually.
Do I have berries on me, or could I find berries?
You could certainly find berries.
Okay. Berries and give Renard some berries. And then, like, find some seeds or something for Greg. And then I ask Ureva and Freddy, what happened in the inn after I left to go find Renard?
Well, Ondar and Noct are getting a little antsy, and they wanted to make an attack on the cultists. Me, Carlon? What's his name
Carlin, yeah.
again?
Carlin.
Carlin and Ureva were able to convince them to hold off a little while longer.
Yeah, I don't
There
want to pull
was-
me again.
There's some information that we need yet before
There
we
was
can
a
make any
third-
bold moves.
Yes. There was a third-party accusation of a potential poisoning or handling, unfriendly handling of our oatmeal, but we don't know for sure that it was what it was claimed to be. So we really don't want to make any brash actions without further information.
I mean, that makes sense. And then I just hold Renard like a little baby and, like, scratch his belly.
I'd like to put an eye north, or whatever direction we're heading, and try to look at that gnome Gemna and see what she's doing.
Okay, so as you are, as you're all having broken down camp and eaten supper, and the rest of the camp is pretty much bedding down, ready for the night, Jamna actually walks down towards your end of the camp, away from the cultists by Noct and Ondar. So she goes down by Samardag. You guys.
Not.
Okay.
Yeah, excuse us for a bit and follow.
Yeah. Pardon us, lady. We must.
Edelry just
We're going to wander
kinda,
a bit.
Yeah, Edelry just gives you a cursory, like, yeah, no problem. There we go. Alright, so you got a campfire right there.
I'm gonna sit on this. Can I still hear them if I sit on this log?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that, and then again, like, continue to pet Renard.
Alright, so Gleam Silver walks down. Ondar and Noct all, you're able to kind of see her as she goes because you're probably likely watching for her. She goes down, plops a seat right next to the fire, very confidently. She she begins by introducing herself. So, for those of you who haven't met me yet, I recognize that one. She points over to Hawkeye. My name is Jamna. And though we don't work for the same people, we are all on the same side. We share a belief that the cult of the dragon must be stopped. I need to know what they're carrying in those wagons and what they're taking. Where they're taking it. I was hoping you'd be able to help me find out. We can do it tonight if you wish.
Who do you work for?
Oh,
Say, raising an eyebrow.
I can
have
answer
my
one
own
of your
people.
questions if you answer one of ours.
Oh, okay, what's that?
Well, as Hawkeye said, who do you work for? What's organization do you come from?
I work for a conglomerate of some very like-minded merchants and everything around the world. This trade network is very extensive. I'm just one agent in the whole thing.
Does it have like a specific name?
You just call it the network.
But network.
Can I roll an insight?
Go ahead.
May I as well?
Go ahead.
Well, she's telling
I'm
the
gonna
truth. Undoubtedly.
I'm gonna cast guidance on myself and then do insight.
This would not
Or
be
could I
a
not?
active. It wouldn't be an active check.
Okay. Shoot. I need to
Someone's
go back.
open micing. I think it's John.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, Freddy, you don't see any reason to disbelieve her, but Ondar and Hawkeye, you get the sense that she isn't quite telling you everything, but there's no actual lie. There's no discernible lie that you can.
I have a feeling you aren't telling the full truth, though.
She gives you a what kind of look would that?
And then I'll walk
She's
closer,
kinda-
but still
she's-
keeping my distance.
She's kind of taken aback by that, and then gives you a weird look and says, "Excuse me?"
Like, I don't think you're bad to us, but I also don't think you're telling us the full truth.
She stands up, puts her arms out like casting off. You know what? No worries. If you guys don't want help, when it's offered to you, you can do whatever you're doing, and then I can take care of it on my own. I just thought I would help. She begins to move away.
Not saying that.
You call
I
it
just
the
am slow to
network.
trust people.
Hawkeye, look, she's offering to give us some assistance as long as our goals are the same, and as long as she's not working for the Zentarum, we're okay.
She stops mid-step as you are saying this, Ondar, and then she turns her head and then she goes, someone speaks sense around here. What is your name, sir? And then she walks over right before you, getting right up next to you, kind of hands on hips, not in a threatening way, but just kind of like putting her head up to kind of look at you, trying to have a confident stature.
Ondar instinctively grabs her, his shield a little closer.
She sees the gesture and she was just like, no worries. I know you're quite attached to that shield. I saw the whole business with that halfling. Quite the fool.
Why do you want to help us?
Well, don't you know? The cult is afoot. They're doing something.
And he glanced.
I don't know a whole lot about societal things, so
They are They are up to something. If you have information, we would love to share what little we know about them.
Let me start. First of all, I've already taken a peek in one of their caravans, and it is filled to the absolute brim with gold. And unfortunately, it's only a small portion of what we saw in one of their holds, so we believe the rest of the caravans may have the same.
Ah. Well, you've discovered the gold yourselves too, then, hey?
Yes.
Which cart did you inspect, if you don't mind my asking? Was it the one with that mysterious man that joined the caravan right about the same time as I did?
It was the second one up. Would that be? No, it was the one just behind them, right?
Yeah, the one right in front of Ondar and I.
No, you tried inspecting that one, but there was a guard right in the way, so then you went up to the...
Yeah, that's the second one up, the one that has the red, the unidentified creature.
Unidentified
Yep.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Yep, that's the one that you searched.
Yep. Just making sure. Yes.
Ah.
It's other, yeah, the one that I took a peek at was the one far up the line, second from here. Second cultist caravan from here.
Ah, good. And I heard tale of some massive cargo being headed north, and I'm relieved I don't have to actually inspect myself. I fear what the cult would do if they were to find me. You saw the man, huh? Did you happen to see his head?
I did not see it myself, but I heard it was devoid of hair.
I kind of caught that too. Wonder what that means. He carries...
Well, there are many bald people in the world, but very few that cover their heads in tattoos, such as he.
And then also combine that with his garb, it's indicative of a red mage.
A red wizard of Thay, yes.
Really? I had some suspicions, but I had no idea.
I mean, we don't know for certain either. We haven't seen his abilities.
That is something. I wonder what exactly a red wizard of Thay is doing with the cult. These are some very sobering prospects.
Maybe the cult has more allies than we thought.
Now that is a worrisome gesture. Worrisome prospect.
Well, it does make sense. The from what I have been led to believe about the cult, they practice... Well, they worship Draco Liches, yes? And the red with Thay is a country land of undead. Hence, Draco Liches, undead, yes?
So you believe that the Red Wizards are in league with the cult to try and raise more dangerous dragons from the dead?
What is a Draco Lich? Yes, it's an undead, dead dragon, yes?
Yes, that is true. You guys, have you discovered any more information, perhaps?
I think.
Well, what have you learned? What do you know?
Oh, I mostly just found out much of what you know. I had tale of wagon loads of gold heading north on a certain caravan, and I found a way to get onto that caravan. I talked with that fool up north, that Nuhar. He's a very, very pleasant fellow, yes, of course, but he doesn't know much of anything. He just wishes to talk about his... no, that's his guard, Sulzdeg. Yes, that is a very powerful-looking man. Would not want to get on his bad side, but Nuhar, he just wants to talk about his wares and where he's been and all his travels of eccentricity. I fear I haven't found much information at all. Sad to say.
Where would he stand and his big brute of a guard stand if there was let's say, a conflict between the cultist and us?
Not sure. He seems like a goodly man. He probably would want to sign on whatever group seems in the right. Sulzdag is just
Well,
Sulzdag is just contracted. He'll do whatever Nuhar commands him to, I
Sure.
suppose.
well, when the incident occurred regarding my shield, it seemed several people were ready to come to the halfling's aid instead of mine.
Ha ha ha. Well, yeah. That'll happen when you charge at somebody without any evidence.
I needed no evidence. I knew who had my shield.
Ah, yeah, but the rules of the road.
He tried to blame you.
Yes, the guilty always do try to put blame on others. It was an interesting sight to find, to watch. I think you handled it well. After you got everybody's attention, you know, you brought it to the right cause, which was investigating. And there you found the culprit. And as you can see, the rest of the guards obeyed the rules of the road and they allowed judgment to be passed.
So you know nothing interesting other than what we have already discussed as far as these cultists. You have no other information about them?
Not particularly. You've been of great help.
Yes, we have, haven't we?
I bet I will definitely get into my contacts and let them know of what's going on. And perhaps we can be of assistance for the rest of the travels.
Right.
It is unsure exactly what the cultists will do once they reach Waterdeep. I will be of great assistance to you if you wish to be of assistance to me, and we can work together.
Perhaps you can find out where they're heading.
Yes, perhaps I could. I will continue I will continue in my lines of questioning, though I don't wish to gain much suspicion. I have yet eluded the cultists, I believe, but
I've seen you listening in on them. Perhaps you could find out where they're headed after Waterdeep, and you will let us know if you do.
ah, certainly. And then she holds out her hand. Shake.
Ondar will shake her hand and slide her a silver piece.
All right. Without any discernible difference in demeanor, she takes the silver piece. Make me an insight check, Ondar.
Okay. I will burn my inspiration.
Okay.
Wow, good thing I did.
Yeah. Okay, so the way that she took the silver piece to avert notice of everybody else, the way it was handed over and everything, leads you to believe that she's very used to shady dealings.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
This is where we are going to end today's session.
Ondar funding terrorism.